You know, one of the best parts of my role as a coach, a mentor, is I get great clients to call me up and say, Chris, I've got a very important decision to make and I'd like to bounce it off you and talk it through with you. Is that okay? I, of course, say yes. Now, why do I enjoy those conversations? Because I get to see how people think. I get to see the process they follow to get to the decision that they're most comfortable with, and they feel really proud. I can hear it in their voice or see it in their face. And they thank me for helping them walk through that process. And then I ask them one more question. So how are you going to communicate the decision so everybody buys into it? And then there's that pregnant pause, that silence on the other end of the phone, or that deer in the headlight look in their face, and they look at me and go, I never thought about that, Chris. Why is that important? Well, it's important that if you went through all this trouble and agonizing, if you will, to come up with the right decision, you want to make certain that everyone understands it. And if it's a change in strategy or procedure in your company, you also want to make sure that everybody buys in. And I'll bet you right now, all the money in my pocket, that there's probably somebody there who is not going to agree with that decision because it wasn't what they wanted to do. You know, everybody likes to solicit feedback from their people, and I think that's great. But eventually the job of the leader is to make the decision to keep the organization moving forward. And a critical part is to get people to follow that decision, to act on what you want them to do. So how do you communicate the decision? Clearly, honestly, succinctly, no spin, especially if it's not good news. And one thing that I learned from my old boss was that if you know you've got a troublemaker in the crowd, what you do is you take them aside separately before you make the broad announcement, and you say to them something to the effect, look, I know you're not going to like this decision, but you gave me some good input. Let me explain why I took the course or path that I did, and John, I need you to support this. And if you disagree, I don't want you to disagree with me in that room full of people. I want you to pull me aside and let's get together separately, and I'll talk it through with you to win you over. So if you know that you're going to have a dissenter in the group, don't avoid them. Don't hope that they call in sick. Deal with them separately. Take the wind out of their sail right away. Because if you know you have to communicate a decision that others will object to, deal with them separately first. Then make your broad announcement, your broad decision, and by then you'll have everyone's support. And guess what? You'll get their buy-in as well. So communicating decision, it's probably more important than the actual decision itself.